how Nick got that. Because this is the main thing I wanted to get out of today's lesson. We'll get the first and second differences in a sec. Are you okay with that? Okay, please be brave and ask if you are not, because I'm going to keep moving here. All good with that? Okay, now it's just calculator time, okay? So we're going to do these in two different parts. I get a brave soul to tell me what -1 squared is. 1, good, okay? So, and again, when I see a lot of people, they're skipping this middle step, but it probably doesn't hurt to write, you know what I mean, what equals what, so you don't make a mistake. Then I'm going to do the next part. I'm going to do -2 times -1. What's -2 times -1? Plus 2, okay? So then it's going to be 1 plus 2, which equals 3. Can I get another person to be brave and tell me, please, what point that will be on my graph? Go ahead, Natalie.
-1.
Very good. Okay. Are we sort of feeling a little bit better about things?
Yeah.
Can I pick on a person at random? Caleb, can you please be brave and do the 1 for me, please? Go ahead. Y equals.
Oh, y equals 1 squared.
Yeah.
Minus 2 times
Yeah.
1.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Aiden at the front, so I'm going to pick on you. What is 1 squared, please?
2.
Close.
Yeah, 1.
Good. That's okay. And then -2 times 1 is going to be?
-2.
-2, good. So which is -1. Good. Now, since this is supposed to be an x squared, oh my goodness, excuse me, it makes sense that these numbers are different. Like, it's not just counting, you know, 8, 4, 0, like the change all over the place. Yeah?
Wouldn't it be 1 common, not -1 common?
Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm too excited for the negatives. Thank you. All right. But the idea is, though, right, you just have to be accurate when you're doing this, okay? So I could fill in the whole chart right away except for the calculation part. And Emily, I think I'm going to do that right now, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write this. Like, just to see the outline's going to stay the same, right? The only thing that's going to change, right, is our different x values for the graph. And if you remember, we did this for straight lines like the first or second day of the year. Okay, right? What we're doing is quadratics now, just to get the idea of the shape of the graph. All right, who's my victim going to be now? Spencer. Spencer, can you do x equals 2 for me, please? Go ahead.
Y equals 2 times, or power of 2 minus 2 times 2
Good.
equals 0.
Good. Now I'm going to show you how you got the 0 is actually correct, okay? But 2 squared is going to be 4, and then -2 times 2 is going to be 4, which equals 0. Now, somebody asked me, they said, I have a 0 there, is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Zeros are okay. Remember how problems, and we'll show this again today, it's supposed to be like U-shape. So if there's a 0, it's okay to have 2 zeros, okay? And I'll show you why that is in a sec. All right, Maya, what point will that be on my graph? What comma what, please? Very good. Okay, are we sort of seeing what we're doing here a little bit? Oh, yes? Jasmine, can you be brave, please, and do 3 for me, please? Go ahead. Great. Keep going.
9 minus -6.
Okay, just 9 minus 6, not 9 minus negative. Yeah, good. And 9 minus 6 is?
3.
Good. What are we sort of noticing a little bit here? What are you noticing about these numbers a little bit?
There's a pattern.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a pattern, right? Can somebody guess without doing any calculations what the next number is going to be? 8. How'd you get 8? So there's an 8 on the other side, right? Okay, and again, that's remember I was trying to show you guys yesterday where we had some of the graph, and I said, okay, let's just put some extra points on the other side to make it look like a U. Okay, so this will be 8. Let's actually work it out to make sure. So it's going to be 4 squared minus 2 times 4. So 4 squared should be 16 minus 8, which is actually going to be 8. No, filling all the points here. Okay, I'm going to pause on the video. If you have not gotten this table down, get it down now. If you have not done your first and second differences, do it right now, please. Okay, first and second differences were supposed to be your homework last night. I'll make that big if you need the bottom row, okay? Okay, all right. Can I get somebody to give me the whole set of first differences? Be brave to do it. Jenna, go.
-5.
Okay.
-3.
Okay.
-1.
Yeah.
3.
I think I missed one. 1, I think, is in there too. and then 3, and then 5. Okay, are there any, please be brave and ask if there's a question on where those came from. What we did was, Jenna did hopefully correctly, the lower minus top, right? That's what happened. So the first one was 3 minus 8 is negative 5. Then 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Then negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. 0 minus negative 1 is plus 1. 3 minus 0 is 3, and 8 minus 3 is 5. All good? Okay, Alistair, if I get you to be brave, please do the second difference. That was so easy. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2. Now, why am I confident that Alistair's answer is right? It's quadratic, right? It doesn't always have to be 2, it just sort of worked out that way that they've all been 2, but it has to be the same number, okay? So let's just say that you accidentally, somebody was telling me who shall remain nameless that the first answer was like negative 4 or something like that. You would have known when you did your second difference because your second difference would have been messed up. Okay, right? So it should all line up properly. I'm going to graph this, we're going to use this graph for our first example. So you can put this in your notes or whatever you want to do because we'll be using this for a few different things. So if you're someone who doesn't make beautiful graphs, today's the day to change your ways, okay, because we're going to need this and we're going to label it a little bit with some of the key points, all right? Okay. If you want, whatever you want to do is, again, as I said, I'm going to be putting a few little points into it here. So we'll do the graph, and I'll be labeling a few extra things on the graph. So try and make it maybe a little bit bigger. Half or a quarter would be. All right. So I was yelling at my grade 11s yesterday because somebody did a sloppy thing on a graph. Please make sure for quadratics, these numbers can get enormous. What is the lowest mark on my graph I have to go to as far as the y values? Negative 1, great. What is the highest value? Okay, so please make sure you adjust your scale so you can get negative 1 on the bottom and 8 on the top. Okay, there will be people, and I think I drew it right here, I erased it, but there was somebody in my grade 11 class who did a graph, and I gave them this much graph paper, and they did a graph like this. Okay, what's wrong with that? Yeah, they told us to adjust your scale, okay? Most of the points were off the graph paper. Okay, so if I ever do that, okay, if I give you this much graph paper, it's okay to count by 2s or 3s or 5s. Okay, and so that's why I recommend just using a little tiny small graph. That's all you're going to get on your test, no matter what the equation is. It's about that big. Okay. Again, left and right, I'm going from negative 2 to 4, so to make sure all those points fit on there. Okay. If you're not using graph paper, need to borrow some from your neighbor, please be brave and ask. Okay, because it wouldn't hurt for these to make sure you have a nice accurate guide for this today. Okay, so I think we will go back to Spider-Man. I think because I haven't used him in a while. I was asked if I'm going to use him anymore, and I think I will today. Liam, you're my first victim today.
Okay.
Do you want big Spider-Man or little Spider-Man? That's going to be your. Okay, I heard an overwhelming chorus of big, so let's see big Spider-Man. Okay, so Liam, I drew that graph. Of course, I used a ruler to make it look good. What else should I put on my graph before I begin?
Arrows.
Arrows, okay, good. Arrows and X and Y, good. So arrows going all 4. There's my Y-axis. There's another arrow. There's another arrow. There's another arrow. Great. And there's my X over here as well. Okay, now please note, because I only have to get down to negative 1, because I only get down to negative 1, I don't have to go super low like on the graph. Like, I don't have to go down to count to negative 5 or 10 or 15 because I know already what my lowest point is. Lexi, what else should I do on my graph, please? Not yet. One thing before that. Somebody help her. She'll come next. Yeah, the numbers have to go on, okay? And you guys have done an excellent job of that so far, but I just want to remind you so that as you continue on in math, you will keep up these good habits when I teach you next year in grade 12 or whenever you're in university or whatever, okay? Right, because you want to get in good habits. Scales can easily change, okay? So if you just get in the habit of just assuming every dash is 1, you shouldn't do that, okay? Some people do that, please don't. Okay, now we're just going to plot the points. Okay, you guys should have these on your paper hopefully soon, okay? So negative 2 and 8, I'm going to put way up here. -1 and 3 is going to be here. 0 and 0 is going to be here. 1 and -1 is going to be there. 2 and 0 is going to be there. And 3 and 3. And 4 and 8. That is a beautiful thing. All right, Emily, I need to do about 3 more things before I'm done with this. Can you tell me one thing I should do? Title will be good. So do it at the end, but that's okay. My title should be warm up, I guess. What's my equation? Y equals x squared minus 2x. Great. Natalie, what else should I do to this graph, please? Connect the dots. Very good. Now, if you weren't here yesterday, please note this is not a straight line. Okay, that's pretty obvious, I think. So you don't need to use a ruler to connect the dots for this. Okay, if I were to find an in-between point here, it wouldn't definitely be in between there. It's going to be in a curve. So it's okay to curve this. Do your best to get all the points. I'll line up something like this. Okay. All right. Desiree, one more thing before I'm done. It's going to be what should I do on this? Oh, somebody help her, please. There's one other thing I should probably do here. Yeah, Cassie, go ahead. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what we should do is just put arrows on the end here to make, because this will actually keep going. All right. Parabolas do actually go on forever. If I were to step over this far on my x, where would my y be approximately? Yeah, like past the ceiling, maybe like, halfway to heaven, okay, if you get over to this far, right? So it's it gets very, very high as you go on there, okay? So those will continue to extend on forever, okay? I just happen to pick nice numbers for you, -2 to 4, so you could plug in 25. Okay? If you're doing 25, which go over here, right, it'd be very, very high in the y bill. How are we feeling with that? Okay, good. All right, here's our note today. I'm just going to call this parabolas. We're going to say there. Actually, maybe I'll stop the video here. Sorry if you're getting your note ready. I'll continue here just that it's going to start adding up in time. You have 12 minutes. Guys, good to get.